You guys, look what just came in the mail. It's official. We're going to Rome for a month. And that means I'm going to need a mobile recording studio while I'm there. I went to Acoustics to see what my options were, and it turns out they might have exactly what I need. After talking to Mike, my audio engineer over at GIC, he helped me make some decisions and figure out how best to pull off what I'm trying to do. If you've been following me for a minute, you'll know that I have dreamed about working on the road. And my previous attempt was rejected by the universe. But if I can't do it on the road, maybe I can do it in the air. God is gonna have to crash this plane to stop me. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is what I think it is. And I almost want to say that they're missing a box. Let's see. Come on. Let's see. Where is this from? GIC Acoustics. Okay. Ooh. Oh my gosh, this is both of them. Ooh, it is so much smaller than I thought it was going to be, which is good news. Okay, let's see if I can do this with one hand. It doesn't take up nearly as much space as I thought. Wait, this is only one. Oh no, we are missing one. I wonder if it's in the mail. Okay, let's open this up and just see what it looks like. Okay, first things first. Let's see how much it weighs. 55 pounds! Holy moly! Man, they said this was gonna be... Oh, they said it was gonna be 35 pounds! Okay, that's not ideal. Well, it's not the worst, but it's certainly not the best. Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, guys, listen to how nice that sounds. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, let's back up. This is 6.5 feet tall. And look at the, oh, let's do a sound difference. So this is me speaking out here. It's not soundproofed at all. And then listen to how it sounds when I'm standing right here. Isn't that great? All right. Okay, so it's 20 pounds heavier than it's supposed to be, but okay, that's what it is. It has these backing plates right here, and maybe it's heavier because I went with the solid to create, you know, so it doesn't, anyways, I don't know how to say, I don't know where my words are. And then this is nice. Okay. Work has been very busy lately, and it's time for me to start scheduling time for myself to unwind during the day. I've got a pretty good feeling about this year, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm in alignment with myself to stay out of my own way. But now there's nowhere to hide. Hopelessly devoted to you. All right, we have a call back today. I am behind on my work, and I have been behind on my work since Monday. We're going to do a little bit of editing before my call back in, I think it's in an hour and a half. But luckily, I think, I haven't looked at the specs yet. I think I'm going to be able to sit at my desk, and then I don't have to change my entire setup, which has turned out to be a little cumbersome. They relate it to Downton Abbey, Succession, and the fall of the House of Usher. Ooh, I like that. My first lessons in history were ghost stories. My time has been filled with audio series and audiobooks, and I'm finally settling into the rhythm of getting everything done on time. I'm planning some transitions and moves for myself in the industry this year, so fingers crossed that everything goes my way. Time to get to work. All right, so the second panel finally came in the mail. The first panel, I think, came in really nicely. It's not perfectly aligned or anything like that along here where it folds up, but that's not the biggest deal in the world to me. Let me back up. This hooks up here to keep it at whatever, a very specific angle that you place it at. And then there's these latches here so the panel doesn't fall backwards. I went ahead and got the solid plates because that's what the audio engineer said would probably be best for my needs. And he said that the cutouts don't really serve any kind of acoustic purpose. The second panel that came in, I'm a little disappointed. It came in broken. I got the latch, but the latch itself wouldn't even open. So as we were trying to open it, it just ripped straight out of the wood. So that's a bummer. This latch doesn't, this latch keeps like popping up. It doesn't want to latch all the way down. So the latches on this panel don't really work. And then when I lift this up, it's kind of wonky in the way that it aligns. So I don't quite know why, but it's just not, it's just a little wonky. It's not quite like the other one. There's like an overlap just here, so I guess it's supposed to sit more like this, but that's how it's sitting. Maybe that's why the latch over here doesn't want to latch all the way down because of the way that it's aligning. So all in all, these are pretty pricey panels. I was considering just making them myself, but I didn't want to sign myself up for another project when I'm so busy. But I think if I could do it again, I would just go ahead and make them myself. So I got both of the Pibbs panels in, as you saw. The second panel that came in had a couple defects with it. I've ordered from GIK multiple times and it's always been such a great experience, and I reach out to the same engineer to help me design the studio and everything, and I've never had any issues. Whenever I went to set up the space, GIK went ahead and sent me new latches. So whenever I went to set up the space and start testing, I was attaching the first latch, replacing it, and the panel on the second half, the weight of it, I guess, was too much. So there was a wooden piece on top that adds a little extra support that just completely snapped off. And then the panel started falling back and totally twisted the other latch, stripping the wood on that side as well. So my hunch was that because I didn't do any cutouts on the faceplate, they had suggested maybe not doing that for the needs that I have for it. I think it added too much weight and it was just a little bit unbalanced. So the piece of wood and the two latches wasn't enough to compensate for the imbalance in the panel. So I reached out to GIK and I let them know what was happening, and they were so incredible. I offered to send back the panel. I'm not looking for anything free. I just would need it to work. So I offered to send back the panel, and instead of asking me to send the panel back, they're just sending me an entire new panel, which is incredible, and I'm so appreciative to them. They've always been so easy to work with, and they're such fairly priced. And they're so fairly priced that, I don't know, they're phenomenal. I had an extra theta curtain from my last mobile build available, and it really is impressive how effective these things are, especially considering how lightweight the curtain itself is. So between the two studio panels and this curtain, I think I'm gonna have everything I need to make this a perfect mobile setup. But I can't just have this sitting in the living room for the next couple months, so let's find a better place to test this out. To test things out, I chose a room in the house that has nothing but hard surfaces to reflect noise. I'm thinking that if I can get a good recording in here, then I should feel comfortable that I can get a good recording just about anywhere. My other considerations were how I'm going to need to mount all of the equipment that I need inside this small space while I'm traveling. So after hours of searching and searching, I settled on this rolling work stand, and I think it's going to work out perfectly. This is going to hold my monitor, my keyboard, my mouse, my interface, my headphones, and then on the outside, I'm going to have my laptop computer. I touched base with my agent and learned that our audio series is performing really well, so there's no set date for this long-term project to end. So the better it performs now, the more assurance we have that it'll continue running as a series in the future. This is always a consideration because in the industry, once you've completed a project, you're kind of technically out of work again, and you always want to keep those projects coming in. My next steps are to finally test the mobile studio, reach out to my audio engineer and see if he can make me a preset that works for this specific mobile studio space, book all of the tours that we've settled on, and make sure that we have all the necessary things in place before we go. So planning for Rome is well underway. We have the tickets. I've checked and double-checked the requirements for bringing luggage, weight, size requirements, and how many bags a person can take to Europe. I've booked transport from the airport. And now onto the fun stuff. So for this trip, I want to have a nice blend of organized activities and leisure time, also considering time that I need to work in my studio. So I've been putting together playlists that feel immersed in the theme of the trip. I've found tons of tours around the city, and I've been looking up all of the things that tourists don't typically think about and or have time for that we will have time for when we're in Europe.